Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Jesse James, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I was a young troubadour when I wrote in on a song. I'll be an old troubadour.
I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
That's right.
Rusty Weed, how are we doing this morning, man?
I'm doing very good. Very good.
I love that shirt. No one that's younger than my generation, I don't think, because at St. Mary's, they made us watch all of those Schoolhouse Rocks, and those are my favorite.
I think a lot of kids don't understand how government works and stuff. They think that, like, you work for the government, and they don't understand the government works for you. So,
well, you know, I still err on the side of the most dangerous phrase in all of humanity is "I'm the government and I'm here to help."
Ronald Reagan, yeah, he had that down. He was one. Now, don't get discouraged because of the blue. I was trying to get rid of a judge, or I was trying to make sure that the right judge got voted in. Judge Jumper was my man. Unfortunately,
he was mine too.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I like him a lot.
He's a good man.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, so that's my plug for Judge there. So
yeah, well, you know, I just love when I saw it. I went, "Damn, why didn't I have that song queued up?" And I could have put, "I'm just a bill."
Yeah, from Capitol Hill. Yeah.
Well, a couple of months ago, Rusty, you joined us to fill us in on the opportunity that was coming down the pipeline. We knew about it first. This Adopt the Highway in Madison County.
Right.
And it's official.
Yeah. The official, the board voted on it the last
Wonderful.
meeting. They've approved it. So it's a go. Yeah. I mean, if you have an organization that would like to adopt a road, or maybe your church would like to adopt a road, or something like your radio station would like to adopt a road, that's the way to go. I'm going to turn that phone off of mine.
Well, I think it could be mine, too. My phone's been blowing up. You know, you said it. I don't know what happened, Rusty. A couple of months ago, we really turned a corner, and I'm just glad that everyone hangs out with us in the morning to talk about things that are going on, man.
I tell all my friends, hey, check this out, man. They got a good podcast over there. They got a lot of things dealing with the local people, and I just think I believe firmly in what you guys are doing here.
Thank you very much. Well, let's get back to this, because we were talking about this, and I'm still pressing the guy upstairs to get us on a team and pick
John,
up some road.
We hear you, John.
So this is for businesses, organizations, individuals, doesn't matter, correct?
Yeah, and really, or I'm just a private individual.
Yeah.
The chain gang is just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few people, friends of mine that help me out occasionally, and I think Sydney joined me for the day.
She loved it.
She became an honorary member. But yeah, you don't have to be any. I do. A 1 mile stretch under IDOT, and I have a couple of roads that I do for Madison County, which since they've just got this program, I guess I'll have a sign put up soon. I haven't decided what I want to put on it, but it's equal to about 4.5, 5 miles.
Wow.
But to see the county roads, you don't have to do them as often. County roads, you can only pick them up maybe once a month, and you're in good shape. Where I do on 143 is because I'm constantly battling with the MBI trash trucks coming off the interstate, heading to the landfill. So,
now, which stretch did you take up in Madison County?
I have Wanda Road and a stretch of Moreland Road.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, they're not real heavily. I mean, Wanda Road's a little bit busier. They get some trucks going down that road, but that's right where I live, so it's a little more,
Really cool.
I don't mind doing it. Yeah. Moreland Road is right down the road a little ways, and I don't know how long I'll keep that road, but for right now, I'm going to.
And now this is pretty easy to find the information to, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you could just contact Madison County on Facebook. Madison County, it's called Madison County, Illinois Government. That's a wonderful page. Cynthia Ellis does that page. She works for Madison County, and she does a newsletter called Talk Around Town, and that's very good, and that's where you got that flyer from. I highly encourage anybody that uses Facebook to check that out, because it's a wealth of information. Now, soon I talked to Cynthia, and she's trying to get it so that she could be getting a direct email.
Oh,
you
wow.
can give her your email address, and you'll receive it in the mail once it comes out.
I like that.
Right now, you can check it out on the webpage, though.
Well, and now take me through, because I was looking down, and I know that, coming up, my brain head moment of today is April 1st is Earth Day. And
April 22nd.
Oh, April 22nd.
22nd. Well, at least it was last year.
Yeah.
I think it is this year again.
So, Earth Day, what are we doing?
You haven't decided yet. I've talked to a couple board members. I wasn't real satisfied with the board member that I was working with last year. I didn't feel like she really put anything into it other than try to get a little PR out of it. More power to her. More power to her. But this year I'm looking for some new blood. I'm going to try and talk. It depends on who gets elected. That's a hotly contested thing. I got my thing here. Chris Slusher is up against Kurt Prenzler, and both of them I think are good people.
Yes.
Kurt has helped me at every step of the way, and Chris feels like he could do a better job than what Kurt's doing.
You know, on top of what you said, I highly agree with you. Two good people that really are meaning what they're saying. No matter who gets it, I think that they're going to care, and that's a safe bet.
Now, I know other people have conflicting opinions, but for my cause, as far as the trash, Kurt is pretty much an advocate of trying to get, we have different opinions on how to do it, but we both have the end result is the same that we like. And Chris's parents live up in Kendall Hill.
Okay.
So he's lived in that area. He lives in Wood River. He drives that every day. And, he's expressed to me how upsetting that is to him to have to drive through that every day and see it. And, as was like Chris DeCliff, he drives, from Alton right through there too. So, yeah, it's something we want to get taken care of. And so whoever wins the election, I wish them the best.
Absolutely.
And I just want to work with whoever.
Same here, and that's all it's about is just progressing towards a better tomorrow.
Yeah, but we've had some good things have happened. We've got some signs put up now that say penalty for littering the public highway. Those are Madison County signs, and IDOT is installing their signs on their stretch of the highway as well. So that's pretty significant. And as I mentioned before, we've only had in the past 2 years, we really only had 2 warning citations issued. But just in the past week, Roxana has issued 2 citations for trucks. Yeah, and I've talked to the people at MBI. I talked to the safety director just the other day, and Jason Belt from the landfill. And they're aware of what's going on. That's a pretty heavy fine, from my understanding.
Well, and on top of that, so there's 2 things with that. And I've said it last time you were on. And the way I look at it is I go back and I look at New York City in the 90s. There was crime everywhere. Litter was bad. Everything was getting broken, and they got really strict. And you couldn't even jaywalk without getting a ticket. And I think that's how you have to be with trash. Once you start reining them, and it's hard because the resources are thin as it is. We've talked about that. But I think once you start administering some of those fines, people's eyes start, kind of going, uh-oh. Let's start getting on some folks, and I know it also starts with all of us tying up our bags too.
Yeah, I talked to the guy from MBI Trucking, and I understand his point of view, and he says, "Well, we're not the only one that litters." Well, what does that matter?
Right?
What does that matter? You've got 90% of the trucks coming down there are your trucks, and so we have a bag or 2 fly off 1 out of every 10. You're still polluting, 10 times more than anybody else.
Well,
I find cans and stuff, hubcaps, but for good Lord, man, how can they keep using that excuse,
That's like going on 4th of July when the cop writes you a ticket for shooting fireworks off, but our neighbor is.
Yeah, everybody's doing it,
Well, you got caught.
Well, anyway, hats off to Chief Cunningham from the Roxana Police Department, because they have issued 2 citations, and those are pretty costly. From my understanding, I think they're like $400.
Wow.
So that news will spread, and I'm hoping that they will start buttoning up their trucks a little better. Top that off, I've been working with, work with the state's attorney's office. The state's attorney is just overwhelmed right now, but one of the things on their agenda is to address this and see that we can't put a little emphasis on the police force to enforce this more than we have in the past. And now that we've got the signage out and we had them sign letters stating that they would do this, I think we got the state's attorney's attention, and they're going to proceed and help us out.
Well, and really, I think this is you and I have said this before, Rusty, it's a nonpartisan issue, and I think it's one that could be easily solved. You just take a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of days, and work together. And maybe it's not that quick, but I think that
whatever side you're on, it's an electable issue.
Right.
I mean, who wants to go against it? Say, I thought the trash was okay.
Right.
So, get on the right side and let's get it done. That's the way. That's the way I feel about it.
I have a quick question because I got to take a quick break here.
Yeah.
I want to ask one last thing, and I don't know if you know this. I don't want to put you on the spot. Honor Society and all those, call Madison County like a local high school and say, hey, we have an honors group that wants to sign up?
Absolutely. It's not my place to do so, but
Right.
I wanted to call the high schools and encourage them. I was going to call Roxana High Schools, they're close to my home, to encourage them. There's groups, the German club, the Spanish club, the athletic club, or
Soccer,
whatever.
any
You can-
team.
yes, the wrestling team. Anybody can adopt a small stretch of the county road. They'll get their name put on a board, a sign out there, and they really only have to take care of it about once a month, if that. And it's not going to be that. Maybe you're talking about a couple hours once a month.
Well, and on top of that, Rusty, we're at the point here for juniors, you need your Honor Society credits.
Yeah,
and this
exactly.
could be a great way to get them.
When we had the Earth Day event, we had some Edwardsville students that worked, and they had me actually sign off on a piece of paper saying that was funny. I felt like I was writing my own note, but that was cool. But yeah, there's a lot of things, and I encourage the high schools. And like I say, I know it's not my place to do, but I'm hoping that once the election's all over, I can sit down and talk to whoever is going to be running the show and say, look, let's really get organized and let's put some emphasis on training the kids early, or at least letting them acknowledge what the problems are.
And as far as I'm concerned, just kind of before we take a break on the election, just the way the numbers are in the last 3 elections for county, I think it's safe to say whoever wins that primary will be your county chairman.
Yeah, I agree. And I've heard some rumors about the opposition that would be running, and I'm not real excited about that on the Democratic side. I know they're keeping that hush-hush right now, but
and I don't know who it'll be. It just numbers just are.
I've got my speculations, but I'll leave it to that.
And we'll leave it for the commercial break. We got to pay a quick bill. Rusty Wheat's staying with me. 9:30 is the time on this Monday morning. We'll come back with more next. When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alt Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Maybe I'm afraid of the way I leave you. Maybe I'm amazed at the way you help me sing my song. Right me when I'm wrong. Maybe I'm amazed at the way I really need
You know, I like wings. I think Paul McCartney's wings is okay.
Can't go wrong with Paul McCartney.
Nah, you can't. So, coming back, we were just going in commercial break, and one of Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling's commercials were playing, and you were talking about just, a little bit of some passing conversations.
Yeah, I've talked to Denise because she's very critical of her crew, making sure that they do a good job. I mean, if you have some trash, and in fact, I had some trash laying alongside the road, and what I do normally now, I call the person where it originated from and say, hey, I got your trash. And they can take it from there. They'll call their provider and say it. Well, I called Denise, and hey, I got some trash. Did your truck do this? And she went to the limit and found out where that trash come from, or I mean, where her trucks were from, and it was not her truck. And she had a meeting. I guess she holds them from time to time with her crew to make sure that people are watching, pay attention, don't let that trash fall off our truck. And I admire her greatly. I really do, for the simple fact that she's a local businesswoman that has went up against the big machine, the Republic machine, and I've encouraged her to bid for that work along the highway. Madison County outsources the trash pickup with a firm out of St. Louis. And first off, I don't like that money going to St. Louis.
No.
I'd rather it stay here. But secondly, if anybody's going to get it, I would like it to be a local business like hers. And so I'm hopeful that she'll be bidding on that work, and she can get it. It's pretty outstanding. If you look at the numbers, how much the county spends on that when it breaks down to per trash bag. We FOIA'd the invoices on how much the county is paying out for that, and it's pretty astronomical compared to what they're receiving. And I did the numbers on it, and it breaks down to about, for instance, if we hire an agency to come and pick up trash along the side of the road, it takes about $35 to $45 a bag.
Wow,
that's what the county is paying out. That's the bottom line. I know there's a lot of fees and stuff in there for the trucking company that I don't understand, the insurance that I don't even want to understand. But I do know what the bottom line is on the cost, and that's what it's coming down to. And
not to cut you off, Rusty, but I'm really critical of who I have sponsor this show. And I've been that way. I don't want people that I think are going to do a bad job and I'm going to mislead people. And it's great to know, just because I've had conversations with Denise about this, and to know that she is caring and she is really diligent about, and to hear it coming from you, who you don't care who it is, you're going to let them know.
I still have Republic Trash Service do take care of my business, only because my driver is very conscientious and he does a good job. He always has, as long as he's been there. Long went before it was Republic, when it was Sanders.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to throw him out. And I'll do anything I can to help Denise and her business ventures and to gain. But until I have a problem with that driver, he's a grandfather just like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I support him because he supports me, and that's the way I am.
Right on.
And Denise has got my utmost respect, but and I've told her that too. I would like to someday take on Sparks as my carrier, but right now I've got a good guy that works for Republic, and I'm going to take care of him.
So can I tell you a funny story real quick before we go back to this? The other day was Saturday. You're gonna laugh your ass. I was garbage truck comes down. I have the big guy, and I don't have Denise because I'm in Alton. And it took me 4 months to get a trash can. I called every week and said, "Can I just get a damn trash can? I want to throw I've been taking it all over." So they come, and I asked the guy as he's backing out. I said, "Hey, where do I put the trash can?" He goes, "On this side." Okay, so I walk it across the alleyway. He left it. I followed him. I said, "You forgot my trash can." He goes, "I'll get it next week." What the
Next week. Yeah, next week.
But going back to this, Rusty, and I'm not patronizing you. I want you to know that it's really cool, in my opinion, that we have somebody that's really diligent about litter, because if we didn't have somebody that really cared, it's going to get bad pretty quick.
Yeah, oftentimes I get frustrated and I think, the hell with this, man. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a rat's ass, but then, you can't. The truck drivers come by now and they give me thumbs up. I'm waving to them. Before I was like, want to give them the bird and stuff, and now they're driving by and they're waving at me. These guys don't want to pollute our areas.
No.
They don't. They're just doing a business. They're driving a truck, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, little things happen. The safety, the director of safety from MBI Trucking called me Friday, and which is outstanding. He called me and he was talking about some things, and like I said, naturally he's not going to think that it's their trucks, but I understand his point of view. But I'm here to educate him. You know what I mean? So I've invited him to come work with me. If he wants to do that, I'll show him what the trash is. But getting back to what Denise talks, I could pick up about 4 bags of trash in a couple hours, easily.
Yeah.
And I'm walking quite a distance. Over the holiday season, after the holiday season, I had picked up 8 bags in the same frame. It's just that just gives you an idea how much trash comes off at different times of year.
And now, do you think, and this is just a question for you, do you think a lot of it is because people are leaving their bags untied and just heaving them into their trash can? Or
no, the majority of what I pick up is shrink wrapping, strapping wrapping on pallets, surgical suits, rubber gloves, things of that nature. Now trash bags, I pick up a lot of trash bags, but they're all empty, and those things are the trucks are netted over, but the wind creates such a vortex in it. Anything that's not secured will just jiggle its way out, and it just doesn't have to be a very big opening. It'll get out. The people from MBI think, well, we got all this new netting and stuff. Well, I'm trying to tell you that netting does wear out and holes develop, and it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much at all, and then out goes the shrink wrap bag or whatever. But shrink wrap, sometimes I'll be dealing with 10 to 12 foot pieces, that are just,
that's dangerous. I mean, that's really dangerous.
Yeah, there's been cars going down the road that have been affected like this, where trash is thrown off it onto their windshield. I haven't heard anything catastrophic, but thank goodness for that,
Well, it's one of those things that it won't be until it is.
Yeah.
Now, with that, and here's my thing, why don't they use one of those, like, truck beds that, you can just pull over the vinyl type of cover?
Yeah, I got to shout out to board member Terry Akers. When we first started getting into this, he said, that's what we need. We need a solid container instead of just the. And I thought, who is this guy? He is crazy as hell. They're not going to change their netting. You know how much that costs? And now that it's been a year later, he was absolutely right. Yeah. Terry Akers, if you're out there listening to me, I mean, he's a Madison County board member, so he's got my vote. If I could vote for him, I don't know, but he's a man of knowledge. A couple of things I wanted to shoot fast before I got to get out of here. I don't know how much time I got.
A couple minutes.
But looking back at what we had done this year, and I posted this on my page on Facebook, and sometimes I get kind of, like I say, I get bummed out. I don't really think, I run out of challenges, thinking, what am I going to do now? And I write so many damn letters, and nobody reads them, and I'm sure as soon as they see my name, they're like, oh, file 13, this guy. So I have different ways that I try to make sure that they get to see those letters. But looking back, I'm pretty happy that we've had so far this past year, we had the Madison County Earth Day cleanup, and that was pretty successful. Yeah. I'm hoping to encourage either Chris Lusher, Kurt Prenzler, or Mike Babcock, one of those, to help me this year. The county board authorized $200,000 for environmental cleanup. I'm not for certain that would have happened unless I wrote all the letters. And I know I'm not just taking all the credit. No. There's been other people doing it. But I am rock solid on this. I'm not going to let up. And for them to do that, I think it's good. People say, well, that was our taxpayers' money. Well, that's fine, but I would rather, I mean, at least we know what our taxpayers' money is doing. So exactly. Yeah. At any rate, the Adopt a Highway program from IDOT, I've been able to utilize that. And now Madison County has their own. I called Alton. I called the city of Alton to find out if they had any interest on doing their own Adopt a Highway program.
What was the thought?
I haven't heard back from him yet. But, John, if you're listening, you're not off the hook, buddy. Because if Alton gets that program. I'm thinking.
I know, and I'm serious because I think it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good. The county program now is. And I got those signs installed. And a lot of people will give me a lot of grief and they say, what do you care about those signs? And that's not that big a deal. The big deal is the police officers, the chiefs, had to sign a letter stating, before the signs were installed, stating that they would enforce it. Yeah. And now since Roxana has actually started enforcing it, and I'm not, I'm hats off to Roxana because, like I said, I know their hands are tied. It's frustrating. They go to the state's attorney, and the state's attorney says, "Are you kidding? Littering?" Right. But it's a problem. And as I was trying to explain to MBI Trucking, you can have 10 trucks drive by and they'd be fine. But that one truck drives by and has a bag that flies out. Now you compound that by 100 trucks. So you've got 10 bags a day, or 10 pieces of trash a day flying off. Well,
Rusty, it's a frustrating issue, like you just said, because everyone knows it's an issue, but where are we going to utilize our resources? At the county level when it comes to prosecuting, issuing warnings and things, or down to the police level where, maybe sometimes, like we've talked about before, you got violent crimes and then you got to kind of sidetrack and go but it's really cool the way that we started talking last year and just see the growth that really has happened.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about it.
It's been enormous.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And like I said, it's cost me some friendships, some hard feelings and stuff because I don't go the way people want me to go. Yeah. And I don't know how I'm going to go. I don't know what's going to say. I just write a bunch of letters and then what the reaction I get, that's the direction I go. And I'm always looking for different angles and stuff. I'm always looking to badmouth the city of Wood River, maybe force them into helping me or something. And no disrespect to those people, but it's just the way I operate. I will do anything and everything I can. I get out there and pick up trash on the hottest days when it's snowing out there. I will be out there picking up trash so people can see me and say, "Man, that guy's an idiot. You know, what's he doing?" But it draws attention to the issue.
Andrew, but you aren't like our government saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." You're out there doing it.
Exactly.
And to me, this is the thing I've stressed for months. You might disagree with some things, but there's always the Facebook poster out there. No matter who you are, everyone gets tired of something and posts it on their Facebook. And to me, what you're doing is what we should be doing. Instead of just going and bitching on Facebook, pardon my language, but actually sitting there and coming up with a plan and doing it. Because unless you put it into action, you're just going to be sitting there talking to nobody.
Yeah, and I always tell my kids, there is no reward for being normal.
No.
If you think you're going to get some type of reward in this life by going through being normal, you're going to be mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to figure out another way to get some things done and do it peaceably, law-abiding, but do it any way you can.
Absolutely. And Rusty, before I say goodbye, is there anything else that we need to talk about for right now?
No, I just wanted to shout out to Sydney. I think Sydney
She's
is
great.
your writer that you have. She come out and worked with me, and I was so amazed by her because I was talking junk the whole while we were there, and I was thinking, is she listening to this? Is she paying attention? And then later on, I read her article, and she nailed it.
Yep.
She nailed it. I don't know how she remembered all that stuff, you know. And some of the stuff I had to tell her to back off on. Don't say too much of it. But she nailed it, man. She nailed that gal. I think pretty highly of her, and I think good things are going to come from you guys working together.
So I completely agree, and we're starting in something else because she did the blog on her day with you. On Wednesdays, starting this Wednesday, we're going to start Blog Talk, where she's going to kind of take it a little bit further and go behind the scenes a little bit and explore it a little bit more.
Cool.
So that starts Wednesday at 10:10.
Cool.
Rusty, one last time, I do want to fill folks in. Adopt a Highway has been officially launched in Madison County.
Yeah, contact the Madison County government. Call your county highway engineer, or get onto Facebook. And like I said, look at Facebook, Madison County, Illinois government. That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
And that not only just this, there's a wealth of information that Cynthia Ellis has put together.
Yeah.
For that. So,
And then what's the best way for folks to stay up to date with Chain Gang?
You just pay attention to the Daily Show. Find out when I'm on here. You want the good stuff, you got to pay attention. You know what I mean?
There you go. Rusty, man, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, hey, I hope to. Take care.
9:45 the time on this Monday morning. A quick break. Your Daily Show will continue after this. Oh, I did this last time, Rusty. I keep hitting the wrong button. Now we'll continue after this.